Welcome guys to the video, and today is the ultimate gear guide video. This is the video of all you need to know about gear. Now, gear is probably the most important part of the game. There are all different factors in the game that increase your power, but good gear separates decent teams from really amazing teams. And as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of gear. We have a whole bunch of jewelry, and we have a whole bunch of keepsakes. And we'll go over everything. Now, to first start, every character is going to benefit from certain parts of gear. And what you're going to want to focus on is what you're trying to achieve and what benefits them. Now, for example, on Gillian, who is a healer, her move, as you can see, you will have different effects. You have a chance to reduce their attack gauge by 30%, where you need accuracy. The higher accuracy, the more chance that debuffs and things like this work. And then also, she will heal based on her max HP. So you want to increase her HP for bigger heals. So that's part of your gearing strategy. Now, if we go to the gear, this is how gear works. Okay, you want to build sets. Now, when you have a certain amount of pieces of gear on your characters, they get bonuses. So for example, if you see the Vigor set, which is one of the best sets in the game, if you are unsure, Vigor can go on pretty much anybody and really help you out. It recharges one Vigor at the start of their turn when you carry it over. Your team shares Vigor, so this is a very important set. And if you're going to spam SP2s and SP3s, then you definitely want to have Vigor. So, in order to have Vigor, I need to have 4 of these 6 gear slots to have Vigor. If I have 4 of these pieces on, then I get the set bonus. The other set bonus in this case is life, which is max HP 15%, and I need 2 pieces to do that. So if I only have 1, it's not going to activate. I need 2. Now, if I want to run, you can run multiple pieces. So if, let's say, you have a 2 set and you want to run it 3 times, you can. So if I want to run life 3 times, I'll show you, for example. If I go to Dedrit, he is running triple life because I want him to survive for Gorgos. So I have 6 sets of gear on him that are all life, and they're going to boost his health a tremendous amount just for those perks. Now, if we click on this filter button, we can go through our inventory and pick the types of gear. Now, I'll show you in the crafting section what the different types will be. So if we go to equipment crafting, you have attack set, which if you have 4 of them, it will increase your attack by 30%. Then you have critical set, which will increase your critical strike rate. Critical strike rate will do a bonus damage based on your critical damage. The speed set is a 4 set, and that gives your attack speed 30%. This is a turn-based game, so for certain characters, this can be huge. You have the damage set, which increases critical strike damage 15%. This is when you critically hit, you will do that. Accuracy set is a 2 set, and it increases the effect accuracy 30%. This is important when you want to land your debuffs. If you have a damage over time effect, like burn or chill, for example, or if you have something like sleep or turn meter reduction or freeze, the higher your effect accuracy is, the better of a chance that it's going to land. You also have a defense set, which is a 2 set, increases your defense 20%. Some characters have bonuses based on how much defense they have, like Seagrim. Then you have your life set, which we went over, increases your max HP. Definitely good in the beginning to give you more sustain. Then you have a drain set, which will increase, it's pretty much lifesteal. It's lifesteal for characters. Some characters benefit from it, some don't. Then you have a resistance set, which increases your effect resistance. So to ward off debuffs, for example, you have that. You have recovery given set, which is a heal set. I don't really use this, but it increases heals. Then you have a counter set, which is an interesting counter. What happens is if a character uses the counter set and they get hit, they have a percentage chance to attack back, and they will use the SP1, the basic move, back to them. Then you have my favorite set, Vigor, which, as I mentioned, it recharges 1 Vigor at the start of the turn. Your whole team shares Vigor, so it's good to have multiple Vigor characters on there, and you can only grind, you can only build and craft that gear set. And then you have Elemental, which is a 35% chance to inflict an element-based damage over time on a single target for 1 turn. It's a 4 set. I haven't used it yet. That is one thing. So that's for your basic gear and the types of sets. And different characters are going to benefit from different ones. Then you have keepsakes. Now, keepsakes unlock, I'll show you. Keepsakes unlock when you have these stars, these awakening stars. If we go to, let's go to someone that has 2. Okay, so it unlocks at the first star, you get the belt. The 3rd star, you get the magic orb. And the 6th star, you get the banner. And these are important too to increase the power of your characters. Now, in order to do this, you need to do the favorite dungeon to get the statues at different rarities, and you need to get the pedestals, which you can buy in the clan shop, in the Forbidden Dungeon shop, and by doing the Forbidden Dungeon. The Forbidden Dungeon has the best rewards in the game, so I would recommend focusing on that. But once you unlock these stats, once you unlock these equipment pieces, you can go ahead and fill up your keepsakes. And keepsakes will have different abilities. So let's get into the start of the gear. Now, when you have a piece of gear, you will have different rarities. You will have legendary, which is the best. You will have rare, which is the second best. Then you will have uncommon. And then finally you have common, which is the worst. Now, the stat bonuses when you upgrade the gear will get better the higher rarity it is. Also, stars matter. As you can see, some of these are 5 stars, and some of these, you could go from 6 stars to 1 star. And you get bonus perks when you enhance the gear, and it gets stronger. We'll go ahead and show you, for example, on this, we'll go ahead and let's enhance something. So this is a 6-star drain ring. And in order to enhance your gear, you click on the enhance button. Now, when you get to 9 levels of enhancing, you enhance it 9 times, you get a substat in here. This will be a random stat that you will get. And then when you get to 12, you get another random stat. These can be changed with stat stones. So in order to enhance, you're going to go ahead and click the enhance button. And as you can see, the attack speed just went up to 23. If I enhance it again, it goes up again, and then it rolls. This just rolled a +1 for critical strike damage. Now, let's enhance this for the sake of science, to 12 and see the substats we get. Okay, so we just got effect accuracy and critical strike rate for enhancing it. As well as we have a 51 speed ring, which rings and orbs are the only gear items that you can gain attack speed as your primary. Speed is huge in this game, so it's very important. Now, you also have stat stone changers. So, if you want to change a piece of gear to try to get different stats, you could do so. Let's go on one of my main characters and try to get more speed. So, we have this. Let's try to find one without effect accuracy. Okay. This one has speed. This one has speed. Okay. So, we go to the piece that you want to change your stat stones. You get the stat stones one a day by defeating Aldri in the relic item mission. You do that 3 times. So you click on here and you go to change stats. And now for 10,000 gold and 1 stat stone, you will be able to randomly change one of these substats. Now, the goal of doing this is to get more of what you're looking for. Whether it's more speed, whether it's more effect accuracy, whether it's more attack, more HP. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to click on change and see what happens. Okay, so now I just reduced my effect accuracy and I got effect resistance. If I click it again, it will change a random effect again. So now I have critical strike damage +2 was the roll, so that has been increased there. That is how stat change stones work. They can be quite useful in getting stats that you want, and you can do it as many times as you want as long as you have them. Now, for the keepsakes, you want to get certain sets for them. I'll show you an example. For the keepsakes, I have Lancelot, for example. Now, you have a bonus. This is a corrosion set. So you see on the bottom, it says it's a 3 set. After inflicting damage over time, it inflicts random damage over time on target for 2 turns. So as long as you have 3 keepsakes in this matching set, you will get that bonus perk. And he is all about damage over time effects, so it works out well. So I have a corrosion belt, I have a corrosion orb with high speed, and I have a corrosion set banner. So getting the perks of a set is huge in this game. As you can see for his set, I have an attack set, so 4 attack pieces for 30 attack, 2 life for 15% max HP, and the corrosion set. Now, for the keepsake on Gillian, I have a immortal set, which after gaining a skill that heals, gain a 2-hit barrier for 3 turns. This is very useful because it will protect her against big hits. If we go to the equipment crafting place, you can see the different sets that you can create. You just need to have 3 of them the same. So the immortal we just went over. When you heal, it creates a barrier. The strife set, when a target dies, gain attack increase for the rest of the battle and charges attack gauge by 100%, drains a percentage of damage dealt to heal. These all have cooldowns. The corrosion set we went over. The fortitude set, upon being hit when current HP is 20% or lower, you recover 40% of the max HP. So this is a very good set right here. Then you have focus set, which gains 1 ability for 1 turn based on the class. You get all different abilities based on which class your character is, which is pretty nice. And then you have the unity set, which grants unity to all allies that are the same element for the rest of the battle. This increases attack and defense 10%. So if you are going to go after a certain dungeon and you are going with all fire relic elements, you're going to get a bonus there. So you basically want to just get sets that work well. Now, how do you get this gear? How do you get gear? Well, you could play the main story, and in random battles, you can get gear. But the main source of where I get my gear is by going to the equipment dungeons. The equipment dungeons are super essential in being able to get your gear. Now you have 3 equipment dungeons. You have NSK, NSY, Nest of Yaslag, and if you do this, you will get attack gear, critical gear, and speed gear. It's all random, and the higher you go, the better gear you will get. At level 10, you will get 4 to 6 star rare to legendary equipment for each run, which is huge. Then you also get crafting materials. You need these crafting materials to craft certain sets that you cannot grind, like vigor or effect accuracy. So you got to do your dungeons. Try to get them as high as possible. You have Apalia, which will grant you at level 10 a 4 to 6 star rare to legendary equipment, plus all these crafting materials. And for this one, it'll get you defense, life, and drain. So try to work on that as much as possible. And then you have the keepsake set, which is Fortress of Arcellus. And you're going to get, for this one, you're going to get corrosion, which is huge, immortal, which I love, and strife. So you're going to get these, and you're going to get all different gear items for upgrades along the way. So the strategy here is to get your equipment dungeons done, try to get good gear, enhance them, and while you're building up these materials, you're going to go into the equipment crafting. And what you're going to do in the crafting is you have the ability to craft either 3 to 4 star gear, which is the easiest to do. Then you could craft 4 to 5 star gear, which is a little bit harder and it costs iron and wood, lumber. And then you can craft 5 to 6 star gear, which is, it's all going to be random, by the way. It's all going to be random. And that one is the most expensive one. So you get to pick which piece you want. If you want a helm, if you want a cuirass, if you want boots, if you want necklace, if you want earrings, if you want ring, and then you get to pick over here the type. I highly recommend for beginners to craft vigor, because vigor is super important for gear so that you could do better abilities on your characters. I highly recommend it. Then you can also craft keepsakes. Now make sure when you do it, you have to know the type of character you have. So if you want to do Tristan, you do Stag. If you want to do Crow, you do Gillian or Bedivere. You know, if you want to do Steed, that's Lancelot right there. Hound, Guinevere. Serpent, Morgan. So you have to pick the one that corresponds to the one you want to craft, and then you have to pick the type that you want. And when you craft it, a random piece will be generated. If you use these right here, these special gear pieces, these crafting pieces, It will enhance the chance of getting better quality pieces. These are harder to come by, but you can do that. So for example, we're going to go ahead and craft a 3 to 4 star ring. And we're going to craft a vigor ring. And we're going to see what we're going to get. Now you could craft from 1 to 10. You could do 10 at a time. And we're going to craft this by using these materials. And let's see what we get. Now we just crafted this. This is a 3-star ring, which is a dud. It is a dud. You do not want 3-star in the beginning. Gear is going to be limited, so you got to get what you got to get. But you want to get 4-star or above for more bonuses and substats. So I'll show you the example. If we go to 4 to 5-star gear and we craft the same vigor ring, we got a 4-star ring. Now look at that. The base attack, the base move, the primary is attack. So as I upgrade this, it is going to increase attack. And then it will get substats. So this one is an attack ring. Now, on the topic of gear, let's go into the gear. Here is what the deal is with gear. Your most important pieces are going to be your jewelry. Your jewelry are your most important pieces. And the reason for this is because they have primaries that you can get of stats that you need. For example, this one has an HP. This one over here also has HP. And this one over here has speed. Now, speed is the name of the game. So the more speed you have on your characters, the better. The ring and the orb are the only items that will roll primary speed stats. So those are the most important, your orb and your ring. Now, if we look here, we rolled on the ring defense, HP, attack, HP, HP. Now, what we don't want to do is have pieces that have no percentage. You want items to have a percentage. A flat stat is not great. A flat stat is not great. You want a percentage base. See, this is a flat stat. That's not great. But if we look over here, this ring, even though it's not speed, it has defense, 18%. That is much better than having a flat stat. Because in the initial phases of the game, the flat stat is okay. But over time, the percentage will be better for you. Now, as I mentioned, in the jewelry has all different types of pieces. And you get critical strike rate, for example, HP, defense. You could get critical strike damage. You could get effect accuracy. You could get hit accuracy. Now, hit accuracy is very important if your character is missing. At higher end levels, you need higher hit accuracy for certain characters like Bedivere to land their hits. So an attack earring set like this with hit accuracy is very good. Now, your helm, your cuirass, and your boots are all going to have primary HP, defense, and attack. Flat stat. But don't get worried. This is why I said they're not the most important gear. Your jewelry pieces are the most important. Now, you will look for the substats that work well. As you can see here, I have a 7 speed on this helm. It's not super, but it helps. HP there as well. This one has attack speed as well. This one has attack speed as well. So you're looking for speed. That matters. Now on the keepsakes, the belts, you could get effect accuracy, recovery. Those are good stats. Now some of them, you're going to have flat HP, which isn't super great. You could get effect resistance. But effect accuracy is probably one of the best, and recovery also pretty good for the belts. For the orbs, attack speed is number one, but the orb is also another place you can get hit accuracy, which is very important. So for example, on my Bedivere, I have a hit accuracy orb on him, and I have hit accuracy on his earrings. So when I face Tesseract 10, who you can miss a lot, he's not going to miss because of this extra hit accuracy. So the globes give you attack speed, which is great. It's a beautiful stat. Evasion, you get speed, you get recovery, and hit accuracy. Hit accuracy is very good. Now on the banners, you get Pierce, which ignores defense, which is pretty strong. You get critical strike damage. So if you do crit, your crits will hit for harder. But I personally like Pierce better. Then you have your flat stats. You also have endurance, which is another stat, which kind of counters Pierce. But I don't see that as a good stat for your gear items, so I wouldn't worry about that. I would focus on Pierce. There's also a critical strike rate, which you might want to put on your characters. So if you want to crit, a part of their kit requires you for them to crit, then you go based on that. But that is pretty much gear. So you're looking for example, on this one, this is a 6-star attack helm. As you can see, the base stats are just there. They're okay. But the substats are pretty high compared to the lower stars. So 6 stars where you want to get at if possible. Again, for the rings, you want to go for speed. Speed is probably the most important part of the game. So you want to get speed on your rings and also your orbs, and make sets, because sets are great. Sets are based on every character. You just need to have the following ones in there. You could go to your list and you could pick something, and you will see all of the gear items that apply, and you could see which ones to work on. And then you enhance them to make them stronger. You use stat change stones to change the stats, so make them more favorable for you. And as you go along, remember to grind up your equipment dungeons, because this is the best way to grind certain gears, as well as get the materials needed so that you can equipment craft. Because as the characters need certain sets, for me, accuracy and vigor are the most important sets for me. I'm not going to bother crafting attack, crit, speed, because you could farm them. So I'm going to craft accuracy sets for my characters with debuffs, and I'm going to craft vigor sets for characters that I want to get increased vigor. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below and let me know if you have any other questions, and subscribe for more King Arthur content. I hope this was useful for you. I enjoyed putting this out, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.